Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed has conferred with UK Secretary of State for Foreign, Commonwealth and Development Affairs James Cleverly in Hawassa City this afternoon.
Pleasure it is to be here in Ethiopia. Had a wonderful opportunity to visit a number of the parts of the country today. It's been a busy day, but I think it's been a very worthwhile day. It's been a real pleasure to visit so soon after being appointed as the Foreign Secretary of the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland, but also I think it is fair to say to be the first foreign minister level visitor since the peace plan came about. So I'm very, very pleased.
The Secretary of State for Foreign, Commonwealth and Development Affairs in a press statement he gave this evening at the Embassy of British in Ethiopia said that his government is very much appreciated the Ethiopian government's peace deal with the TPLF. According to the Foreign Secretary, Great Britain has already started delivering humanitarian aid to the internally displaced people in Ethiopia, to the Afar and the Tigray region, starting from last week, noting the aid will continue ahead.
I saw trucks that have been provided by the British government transporting food aid into Tigray region. We hear that good news is happening now as a result of the peace process. Mekelle has now got electricity again, a very, very significant improvement. So we will continue working alongside the Ethiopian government and the Ethiopian people to really lock in that peace and continue to develop the economy.
The two sides also discussed on current issues, focusing on to heighten the age-long bilateral ties between the two countries. Appreciating the warm welcome accord by PM Abiy, James Cleverly wrote on his Twitter page as well, 1 month on from the peace settlement, Ethiopia can rely on the United Kingdom's full support for lasting peace. Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed urged Ethiopians to stand in unison to overcome the recurring challenges. Conveying his message to the 17th Nations, Nationalities and Peoples Day in Hawassa, the Premier said efforts will be put in place to pass a prosperous and better Ethiopia to the next generation. The 17th Nations, Nationalities and Peoples Day marked in Hawassa today. Goshu Meliso has more on that.
The 70th Nations, Nationalities and Peoples Day celebrated colorfully in Hawassa. Speaking on the occasion, Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed said, Ethiopia is a country where various nations live in harmony. Addressing the celebrants, the Premier urged Ethiopians to stand in unison to overcome the recurrent challenges.
Ethiopia የሁላችን ቤት ናት.
If we cannot create a situation where we can live in peace, we will not be able to achieve what we want. All Ethiopians must work together to address Ethiopia's recurrent problems. We should stand in unison to solve our problems, otherwise we will be submerging in the previous problem.
መበልጸግ ወጥተን መግባት አይሆንልንም.
The Premier remarked that Ethiopian Nationalities Day is a platform where Ethiopia is seen in its diverse language and culture. Prime Minister Abiy underlined that the history of yesterday should be a lesson for today, not a cause for criticism and blaming.
ትናንት ያለፈና ያመለጠ ታሪክ ነው.
Yesterday is already history that everyone missed it. If we make our previous history to lessons, our tomorrow will be bright. Blaming the past is like an echo. Sticking on the previous history doesn't work today. Rather, we should work hard to change bad image that we had and rebuild the good one to the next generation.
አይሰሙንም ያጠፉትም ያለሙትም አልፈዋል.
The Prime Minister emphasized that the historical adversaries of the country should realize that their plot to divide Ethiopians will not be fruitful. Meanwhile, Speaker of the House of Federation Agenyo Tashagar for his part said fostering unity and brotherhood is vital to stand impediments facing Ethiopia.
የኢትዮጵያ ብሔር ብሔረሰቦች ሕዝቦች ቀን ሆኖ በየዓመቱ እንዲከበር ሲወስን ዓላማ ያደረገው
The celebration of nations, nationalities, and People's Day plays an important role in further strengthening unity and brotherhood among nations and nationalities in the country. Various nations gather yearly, therefore, the event has a crucial role in promoting coexistence, solidarity, and brotherhood among nations and nationalities. There are challenges facing the country from inside and outside the country. It is important to strengthen national unity and brotherhood among nations and nationalities, overcome the challenges.
ክልሎች በዓሉ በልዩ ልዩ ዝግጅቶች ሲያከብር ቆይቷል።
Prime Minister Abiy noted that efforts have continued to ensure lasting peace in all areas of Ethiopia.
The Sidama region capital city Hawassa has hosted the 17th Nations Nationalities Day celebration in a splendid manner today. This year's celebration, special of its kind after a peace deal moment, has brought together all the nations and nationalities of Ethiopia from all corners of the country, and the celebration was so peaceful and memorable. Present at the event were foreign guests, and they have told our reporters their reflection in various manners. Let's have the interview talk to our English reporter from sports. Take a look.
Thank you very much, sir. First, tell me your name and where you come from.
My name is Sufyan. I'm originally from Pakistan, but born and brought up in Scotland.
That you are observing that is in the crowd here in Ethiopia. Ethiopians are observing the nations and nationals today. What do you feel about that?
I mean, I think words are difficult to describe what I'm feeling at the moment. But I think what you're feeling here is a lot of energy, a lot of love, a lot of colour, and really you've got this kind of family vibe. Everyone's really a big happy family coming together, showing their diversity but also their unity at the same time. It's lovely to see.
What you are observing, the service sector, the hospitality of Ethiopians when you are arriving in Ethiopia.
Yeah, this is my first time in Ethiopia, and I think that's the biggest thing that I've seen, is that the Ethiopian people are so generous, so kind. They're always wanting to help. I was telling somebody that the first time I was on a bus, I was in the bus and there was about 40 people, and I thought they were all family because they were all helping each other. But I realised that that's actually just Ethiopian culture. Everybody helps everybody. As soon as anything they can do, help each other. It's amazing to see. We don't get this in the countries that I'm from.
What is your expectation before you are coming to Ethiopia, and what do you get after your arrival in Ethiopia?
So the impression that we get in Western countries is that Ethiopia is very poor, and there's a lot of there's a lot of deprivation. And I've got friends, so I work as a medic, so I've had friends that have come here as doctors to help. But my friends that are doctors came and said Ethiopians are the cleverest doctors they've ever met. And when I come, they might not have as many resources, but they have so much in their heart, and they have so much to give. So I think they're much richer than most other countries that I've ever been to.
What kind of experience that you have got from Ethiopia? When you are in Canada, such kind of emotions and so on. What is the difference between Canada and Ethiopia, observing such kind of culture there?
I think the best way probably to describe it is that the countries that I've been to, so I have been to Canada, America, I live in the UK, so a lot of Western countries, but I've also been to many other countries as well. I would almost describe them as black and white compared to Ethiopia, which is multiple colours. So I think that, like I said, the diversity here, the love, the warmth is what we see here. And you can imagine in Scotland it's not very warm. The people are nice, but it's not very warm. So yeah, I think it's beautiful to see the culture, which sometimes is lacking in other countries.
Let me give you an opportunity to say congratulations or a message to the rest of the world, especially the international community about Ethiopia.
Well, what I would say to the international community is that come to Ethiopia. It's a lovely place, lovely people, lovely food, lovely weather. So definitely come here. But to the Ethiopian people, I would say stick to your roots. The culture that you have here is difficult to find anywhere else. Keep this love that you have between the people. Keep that family vibe, because this is something that if you lose, you won't get back, and it's something that's is very valuable, and you don't get in most other countries. So keep doing what you're doing, I don't know. My experience here has been absolutely amazing, and I will be coming back again.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much.
Meanwhile, foreigners approached by our staff reporter in Hawassa. They found the hospitality by Ethiopians exemplary. While observing the 17th Nations Nationalities and Peoples Day, the experts underlined that Ethiopians must work aggressively to promote and make best use of their untapped tourism potentials. Goshumel So presents the report filed by our staff reporter in Hawassa, Haltam Shagri.
Ethiopia is one of the few African countries that has managed to inscribe tangible and intangible world heritages under the UNESCO. The founding of the True Cross, Fichich Ambalala, Tamkat or Epiphany, and Geda, among others, are some of the world heritages that have been inscribed by the UNESCO. The Sidama state finalized its preparations to observe the 70th Nations, Nationalities and Peoples Day at national level in Hawassa city.
This is one of the prestigious lakes in Ethiopia, located in Hawassa town. Talking to TV English, some foreigners said that they are very much glad within the hospitality and the service sector of Ethiopia. Apart from observing the National and Peoples Day, the government of Ethiopia needs to maximize its natural and historical attractions to the rest of the world.
Well, the first thing we observe, of course, are the people. And to come to here in Hawassa to see all the different nations and the celebration, especially on this special day, we're impressed with the diversity, but also the desire for unity, and we hope that also happens nationally. And so we just are very appreciative of the hospitality that we've experienced, the kindness of the people, and also the beauty of the land and the beauty of the wildlife. We love to see the birds and the animals also.
Oh, I think Ethiopia is a great place to visit. I've come several times, and I love the people, I love the food, I love the culture, the scenery. It's very nice. And over the years coming, I've seen it improve and get better and more accessible. But roads are good, a lot better, highways, but it's the people, I think, the friends and people here that make Ethiopia so special, very hospitable, very kind.
Environment for the aiding tourism industry. They underlined Ethiopia needs to further promote its untapped natural and historical tourism destinations to the rest of the world so as to boost the tourism industry.
I think there's lots of potential here in Ethiopia. Natural resources are abundant. To be able to use them wisely and for the benefit of the people, there's a lot to do. There's a water issue, to develop more water resources for people to drink, using solar applications, electricity going to rural areas, helping uplift the people in the rural areas and the middle class. I think there's lots of potential to do that.
Things to promote the international community to come. I think people just need to realize, that it's a safe place, that people are friendly, that you would be welcomed. A lot of people know English, language doesn't seem as big a problem. It's a beautiful country, beautiful things to see, beautiful up north, the Lalibela, the churches, and Addis, beautiful places here in the south with the lakes.
It was advised that the government of Ethiopia gives high emphasis to modernizing its police force. Opening the 24th General Assembly of the Eastern Africa Police Chiefs Cooperation Organization, President Sahle-Work Zewde stated that the essentiality of to putting our best effort in order to lessen security concerns in the area. During the occasion, Ethiopian Federal Police Commissioner General Damallash ገብረ-Mikael became the president of the Eastern Africa Police Chiefs Cooperation Organization, EAPCOM. Tigist Nesa has attended the event. Take a look.
President Sahle-Work Zewde declared the 24th General Annual Assembly of the Eastern African Police Chiefs Cooperation Organization to be officially opened and highlighted that the historic AU edifice in Addis Ababa, the diplomatic capital of Africa, may serve as a signpost for the entire continent. The President went on saying that working level-based is compulsory to minimize security threats in the region.
Due to the fact that our regional and continental security cooperation is critical to global law enforcement, we need to work hard for our law enforcement agencies to be more innovative and proactive to fight cross-border crimes and minimize security threats. Ethiopia has been an active participant in global counter-terrorism efforts and is committed to enhancing law enforcement cooperation and international security. For instance, Ethiopia is one of the major troop-contributing countries, both to the African Union and the United Nations. It has demonstrated by doing so that Ethiopia is really committed to maintaining, to contributing to the maintenance of international peace and security.
She further added that the Ethiopian government has taken modernizing its police force as top priority.
Since 2018, the Ethiopian government is implementing a security sector reform to address the need for improved governance, police service, and social development. The security sector reform has enabled our police institution to modernize its system in providing efficient and effective services to the people. The Ethiopian government has also taken as one of its top priority areas the modernization of the Ethiopian police, and I'm certain that this will also be to the benefit of all member states of the organization. I would like to take this opportunity to assure you that my country, Ethiopia, is eager to work very closely with all the East African Police Chiefs Cooperation Organization member states and other international organizations on global security threats.
The incoming EAPCO president, Demellash, underscored for his part that over the last 2 decades, EAPCO has become resilient against transboundary organized crimes.
Over the last 2 decades, the Eastern Africa Police Chiefs Cooperation Organization has become resilient in the fight against transnational organized crime that has become an impediment to the security of our people. The growing scale and the complexity of crime in our world today related to information and the communication technologies require tireless cooperation between countries to combat transnational organized crime.
Representing the Interpol Secretary General, Francis Rogoe also stressed that Interpol has demonstrated a number of initiatives and operations to counter terrorism in the EAPCO region.
Interpol enhanced its counter-terrorism and cybercrime capabilities in the EAPCO region as evidenced by the establishment and deployment of counter-terrorism and cybercrime nodes based in the RB, Nairobi.
During the occasion, the Inspector General of the National Police of the Democratic Republic of Congo, Dedune Amili Bahigwa, who was serving as the president of EAPCO, has handed over his responsibility to General Demellash Gebremeikael, the Ethiopian Federal Police Commissioner.
Members of the Prosperity Party Central Committee expressed that people and organizations that have used religion and ethnicity for political ends are becoming a hindrance to all national aspirations, emphasizing the fact that corruption is posing a new threat to Ethiopia. Members of the ruling Prosperity Party reiterated how Ethiopia is being challenged by ethnic and religious extremists. The Executive Committee of the ruling Prosperity Party, has held a meeting focusing on several decisive issues. Jerusalem Beziha has compiled some of the Prosperity Party members' view. Take a look.
በብሔር ሲም ብሔረ ተጎርቷል።
As they represent certain ethnic communities, some people and organizations have taken part in unnecessary acts in the name of ethnicity. However, the reality is that they have been trying to rekindle ethnically based disputes. Similar to this, they have been utilizing religion to further their political objective. As a result, we must battle them alongside our people.
የሃይማኖት አክራሪነትን በመቀስቀስ
የኢትዮጵያ ሕዝብ አጠቃላይ ፍላጎት ያልገባቸው ኤሊቶች
Some elites, politicians and international actors may be involved in tribal activities. They don't comprehend the interests of the Ethiopian people. As a result, we must combat them and create a strong political framework based on safeguarding our nation's development and peace.
ስርዓት ያለው ተቋማዊ የፖለቲካ ስርዓት መገንባት እንዳለብን
ሌብነትን ለመታገል የሚደረገውን ትግል
These individuals have been trying to interrupt the government's effort to combat corruption through investigating individuals suspected of corrupt practices and arresting those including officials who were found involved in various corruption crimes. Therefore, we have to fight them, and we have to continue our efforts in identifying government officials who were working with individuals and private institutions for their personal benefits and abusing their power in the justice sector. Therefore, maximizing accountability and transparency in all endeavors of the country is critical.
በመንግስት ውስጥም አሁን እንደ ኦነግ ሸኔ ታጥቆ የሚንቀሳቀሱትም የዚሁ
Political market is what gives rise to terrorist organizations like the Oromo Liberation Army, SHANE. Certain government officials have been misusing their positions of authority to collaborate with people and private organizations for their own personal gain. On the other side, these terrorist organizations have been exploiting this chance to enlist the aid of other diverse foreign organizations and to wreak havoc in our nation. In general, these dishonest government representatives are building a foundation for terrorist organizations to do more awful acts across the nation.
እና በኢኮኖሚው ላይ በሁሉም ላይ ፈተና የሚገጥምብን ነው ያለነው።
የኔ ሰበዝ የኔ ቀለም የኔ ሙዳይ አይኖችሽን የሰጠሽኝ ሁሉን እንዳይ የኔን ስፍስፍ የኔ ታካሽ የኔ ኩራት ጨለማዬን ምገፊ ደማቅ መብራት ካለሽበት ልደርስልሽ ያሳፈረስ እየጋለብኩ የሆንሽውን እያሰብኩት ከራሴ ጋር እያወራው ውለታሽን ልመልስል የምሰጠው አጣሁልሽ ሀገሬ ሆይ አበድሪኝ ሀገር ስሆን የምከፍልሽ ካለሽበት ልደርስልሽ ያሳፈረስ እየጋለብኩ የሆንሽውን እያሰብኩት ከራሴ ጋር እያወራው ውለታሽን ልመልስል የምሰጠው አጣሁልሽ
The 9th high-level seminar on peace and security in Africa kicked off in Oran, Algeria, according to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. A delegation led by Ambassador Birtukan Ayano, State Minister of Foreign Affairs, is participating in a 3-day African High-Level Peace and Security Forum. The seminar is organized under the theme towards assisting African members of the United Nations Security Council in preparing to address peace and security issues on the continent. Speaking at the opening session, Ambassador Birtukan Ayano praised countries that represents Africa at the United Nations Security Council and supported Ethiopia and stood by the side of justice during a conflict in northern Ethiopia. Despite pressures against the African solutions to African problems principle, which gives durable solutions for continental challenges. In addition to this, State Minister of Foreign Affairs of Ethiopia, Ambassador Birtukan Ayano, said Africa has been at the receiving end of the threat posed by extremism and violent terrorism more than any other region. The State Minister noted that the importance of collective action, as no state is able to deal with the challenges of violent extremism and terrorism alone. Ethiopian Electric Power Chief Executive Officer Asheber Balcha told Ethiopian News Agency that Ethiopia's power export to neighboring countries envisages strengthening mutual cooperation and growing together. The CEO also indicated Ethiopian Electric Power is making adequate preparations to expand cooperation with neighboring countries through power integration. Shagawi Matao has more from the Ethiopian News Agency.
Ethiopian Electric Power Chief Executive Officer Asheber Balcha said Ethiopia's power export to neighboring countries helps to boost mutual cooperation and growing together.
Ethiopian Electric Power is making power integration with neighboring countries to obtain high foreign exchange to the country. Adequate preparations are also made to expand cooperation with these countries. The importance of connecting neighboring countries with energy is not only for export purpose, but also for the benefit of growing together.
He also revealed that when ongoing public and private power development projects, including the GERD, become fully operational, Ethiopia's effort to integrate the region with electricity will be significantly large.
We have already started energy export to Djibouti, Sudan and Kenya. We are exporting energy to these three countries. In general, there are 11 countries in the Eastern Africa power pool and there are a lot of requests coming in right now. Due to climate change, most of the countries are facing severe energy shortages. But we're at the level where most of our dams are full of water. They can generate power and that means we can sell power to them.
Ethiopia has demonstrated its solidarity with African countries by trying to spearhead sub-regional economic integrations and cooperation in the spirit of Pan-Africanism through extending its power transmission grids to neighboring countries, the CEO reiterated.
Let's remind you the headlines. Prime Minister